Hello there, nice slice here, coming at you from the Great White North in beautiful British Columbia, Canada. Today will be the first time on my channel that I do a Way Back Wednesday. And for that, what we have on the table is an old Kinfolks knife. So let's have a look at this. This is another one of my pawn shop finds from a trip down to Bellingham, Washington. There's a pawn shop called the Trading Post down there, and I saw this in the case. And I knew what I was looking at because I recognized the sheath from a video on a Kinfolk 330 done by none other than Tom from Knife to Lights. So because of that video, I knew what I was looking at. And the owner of the shop was asking $50 US for this, and we haggled back and forth, and I ended up paying 30. So I'm not entirely certain if that was a good deal or not, but to me at the time seemed like an okay price, so we settled on that and I came home with it. So let's have a look at it. First we'll have another better look at this sheath. See, it's quite stylish there, decorated with the flower, all the nice details in there. Now this one, I'm not sure if this is original, the white coloring, or if someone attempted to color this sheath. And this black, I think it's just some ink or something somebody spilled on there possibly. Maybe some polish, they were maybe intending to dye the sheath black, I'm not sure, but you can see it has a nice stitching. It's a very well constructed sheath. And there is dual, a name carved into the back there. Sheath has definitely had some use. There's a retention strap there. Pretty good, pretty good. So like I said, this is a Kinfolk. There it says Kinfolk, and underneath that is USA. I tried to do some research on that. What I could find is that this particular tang stamp was used between 1939 and 1951. Can't get any more specific on the date than that, so this knife could be anywhere from 72 to 84 years old. I'm thinking it's probably somewhere in between. But this is also the 330 4.5. I did see another video where there was a 330 with a much smaller blade, came in a set, and it was a double sheath. The knives would sit side by side like that. It was quite cool. Very unique, I thought. So I know Kinfolk Knives was a company created in Cattaraugus County, New York. There was a lot of cutlery makers there. I believe Camillus was located there. I think Case Knives may have been out of there as well. Definitely the Kinfolk. And they used to make knives for the Cattaraugus Cutlery Company. And they were in business from 1924 to the 1950s. So not a long period of time as far as knife makers go, but you can see some of the similarities to a case knife. I'm not sure what type of steel this would be, but it is nice hollow grind blade there, hollow grind on that one, and it does still have quite a good edge on it. This is a stacked leather handle, aluminum pommel and guard. Everything's fairly tight on there. A little bit of wiggle, just a tad in that pommel. Not a huge deal. So I'm thinking the 4.5 indicates the length on the blade. So let's have a look. Sure enough, 4.5 inches on that blade, exactly. You can see this knife has had some use and some marks on it from sharpening. Let you have a good look at that. So you can see the pommel is pinned on. It's not like some that have the tang coming through there and then threaded with a bolt on it. This is a pinned pommel. Now, the only other knife in my collection at this time that even compares to that is the Buck 102 Woodsman. So you can see the Woodsman is even a bit smaller. Handle is just slightly shorter, I think. Yeah, maybe not. They're pretty similar. The blade is a bit longer on the Kinfolk. I really like my 102 Woodsman. That is a handy dandy little knife. I would imagine this was as well. This would be small game. They call the bird and trout knife. So I just wanted to put this out there and do my first, like I said, way back Wednesday video. I don't have a lot of knives that would fit into that category at the moment. One or two maybe, this one definitely. So if anybody knows more about Kinfolk than I do, which I'm sure there's quite a few, feel free to educate me on the Kinfolk knives. I will keep my eye out for more. So this is the Kinfolk 330 4.5. There you have it.